So over the years, I've tried and owned multiple cameras from brands all across the board, from Fujifilm to Canon to Sony and even Blackmagic. And I've never been anyone that's held some sort of brand loyalty to just one camera brand. But I think all that's about to change. So over the years, my work has drastically changed. I went from shooting primarily music videos in the video space and shooting portrait work for models and actors and musicians. And now with the rise of social media, the landscape of the game has drastically changed for people in the field and also myself. And with that, the tools needed to create things effectively has also changed for me personally. For instance, I own a Fujifilm X100V. This is my daily camera that I use just to get beautiful content when I'm on vacation, day-to-day type of stuff. And I even use it for behind the scenes. I also own two ZV-E1s, and this is by Sony. And I use this primarily for social media, creating reels for myself, creating social media content for some of my clients, and just a whole variety of things that I use that camera for. I also have my Canon R5 with a plethora of lenses. I use this for all of my high-end client work for photography. When it comes to portrait work, when it comes to shooting events, this is my go-to guy. And then when I was shooting more of the music video stuff and I was doing more high-end productions, I'm still doing those things, but it's kind of scarce, I'll say. But when I was doing more of the production work, my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera with its slew of lenses that I have, this was my go-to baby. But as you saw, those are 4 different cameras, and I'm thinking about getting rid of all of them. Well, almost all of them. So you guys are probably scratching your head like, what is this guy talking about? What do you mean you're getting rid of all of your cameras, especially when you're a working professional? Well, I'll explain. Fuji X100V, this isn't going anywhere. This is staying right here. Sony ZV-E1, both of them that I own, even the one I'm filming, that's not going anywhere. And all the lenses for my Sony, not going anywhere. So that leaves us to the Blackmagic and the R5. What am I gonna do with these cameras? And honestly, I've come to the decision and come to the conclusion that I need to get rid of these cameras. And I need to get rid of them because they no longer fully suit what I do now as a creative. I'll take the Blackmagic for instance. This is a great camera, shoots in 4K, has a ton of different recipes of flavors, I'll say, of codecs that you can shoot in. I've been using this since 2018, I believe, all the way up until the last time I picked up this camera was in December of 2024. Beautiful image, absolutely nothing wrong with it, but for what I'm doing, it no longer fits. And then as far as the R5, this fits all of the boxes, but the thing is, I hate having different systems. So when different systems come, different lenses, different batteries, different charging options, different color science, there's just a whole slew of things when it comes to traveling. Now I have all of my Canon gear and all of my Sony gear. And if I'm taking my Blackmagic, I have all of my Blackmagic gear. I want these two things to kind of have some cohesion to my Sony cameras. And like I said, I've never been one to subscribe to brand exclusivity, but I think in this case, having brand exclusivity is something that I need just to make my package a lot smaller. So in replacement of my R5, and you guys let me know if you guys think this is a good decision, but in replacement of my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, I would love to replace it with the FX3. The FX3 is small, it's lightweight, compact, and has a beautiful image. But the thing is, it's also compatible with all of my Sony lenses that I have, and it matches perfectly with the two Sony ZV-E1s that I have. And then to go on with my R5, I would love to replace this with a Sony a7R5. And I would like to get that camera because obviously all those lenses will talk to each other. There just comes a lot of cohesion where now if I'm traveling, I only really need my FX3 and my A7R5 or my ZV-E1 and my A7R5. I don't need to have technically four different systems, four different types of lenses, four different types of batteries traveling. And a lot of my work has also changed where I'm shooting a lot of social media content and I don't need these big rigs like I used to. Now with my FX3, well, once I get an FX3, I can build that thing out to be a cinema rig if I need to. But when I'm just shooting social content, I have my two ZV-E1s, and if I need to shoot interviews, well, now I can shoot that with my FX3 and use my ZV-E1s as B and C cameras. All of the colors match, all the batteries match, all of those things matter, especially when you're in a production type of setting. You need to be quick, things need to match, and it just needs to be easy. And that's where I'm at right now in my journey in this stage of my career. Everything just needs to be cohesive and easy for me. And not saying that having these cameras aren't easy. I've been doing it for the past 4 years with this way, but I'm at a point now where it's time to lighten the load and get rid of some of this gear. And I think going with the FX3 in replacement of my Blackmagic Cinema Camera 4K and getting an A7R5 in replacement of my Canon R5, I think that's the way to go. And like I said before, with the Blackmagic, I have a full set of EF Rokinon lenses. So that's another lens mount that I need to get rid of because none of these cameras support EF except the Blackmagic. So that's my reasoning behind getting rid of some of these cameras. I'm curious to see what you guys think behind this logic. Is replacing my R5 and my Blackmagic the right way to go, and picking up an FX3 and getting an A7R5 and just going all in on Sony and just being exclusive on one brand and one ecosystem? Do you guys think that's the right decision? Because I think for me, it's the way to go. And like I said, I've never subscribed to brand loyalty or anything like that, but I think that's the way to go for me. And it doesn't have to be Sony for you. It's just so happened to me, I love the video out of Sony, I love the photos out of Sony. I really do love my R5 and Blackmagic, but where I am right now, I think it's time to just go all in on one brand, and Sony just so happens to be that brand for me right now. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.